welcome back to the Pen and Inkwell. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in South Wales. The sun is shining and, well, it's starting to get warm, but let's not get too excited, it's still only March. However, what I've got for you today is I'm going to take you back to where I started. Well, almost where I started. The second video I ever made was comparing the different nibs that Lamy made. And I did this because I had a lot of requests for things like that, but also from my own experiences that when I started out buying pens, never really knew which nib to get. Did I want a medium? Did I want a fine? Do I want a broad? And you know, if you don't know what they're like, then it's a very difficult decision to make, especially if you're ordering online and you haven't got a store to go and try them out in. Pens like Lamy, they tend to be sold in stores. Well, certainly I know in Cardiff, sort of, you know, which is our nearest city here, there are 2 or 3 stores that sell Lamy pens, and but actually when you're buying them online, it's always difficult to know what you're doing. I know that Goulet Pens and some sort of websites have their sort of nib nook, which is what Goulet Pens have, which will show you the different widths of them, but I thought it might be useful to have a video comparing how they actually write and for you to see those. And it turns out that I think it probably was quite useful, because that video, it's about 18 months old now, and it's received 43,000 views. It's been viewed 43,000 times, and I keep saying 43,000 because I just can't believe it. So it obviously was useful, and I get an awful lot of comments about how useful it was. So that's inspired me to start a bit of a series, really, and it's going to be sort of called my sort of, you know, my Nibs series, and I'm starting that off again today. And I'm going to be working with, today I'm working with Pure Pens, Ross and his team at Pure Pens, Pelikan Pens as well, also part of the same outfit, to look at the different Pelikan nibs. But today I'm going to start with the Pelikan steel nibs. So these are the nibs that go on the M200 or the M205 really. So I've got them on an M200 in the sort of gold finish. But if you bought an M205, they would come in a silver finish, but it's the same width of line that you would get from them. So they come in 4 width sizes. They come in extra fine, fine, medium and broad. So I'm going to go through those, do a bit of a writing sample for you to be able to see how they compare. So this is the pen I've got to look at. I'm going to also review this pen as well that you'll be able to see. So this is the M200 green marble that was sort of re-released, oh, I don't know now, probably at least 6 months ago, I think, and it is slightly different. I believe this is slightly different from the original green marble that I had back in about 2012. But I hope you find this useful. So this is going to be the steel nibs, and then I'm hoping then to do the gold nib of the Pelikans before we move on to some other manufacturers as well, and look at maybe some pilot nibs and look at some sailor nibs and platinum nibs, and you know, and so on and so forth, so that it will be able to help you. If you've got particular requests, please let me know. If anybody's able to help me out in this again, sort of please let me know. But hopefully we're going to start with this and you'll find it useful. So I'll see you all very, very shortly in 2 secs. Welcome back. So we're looking at the nibs of the, I'll put this back down, I've got it in my hand, and I tend to talk with my hand, as you've all noticed in my introductions. So we're looking at the nibs that are on the 200 series Pelikan. So this is the 200 series Pelikan. There is a separate video that will show this pen in all its glory, but that will come after this video has been put up. But then what I've got here now, so I've got an extra fine on the pen already, and then I've got a fine, medium and broad nib. So as you can see with these pens, the nibs are very easy to interchange. They just simply screw out and screw in. So if you have a look here, if I put that one down, you'll see on there how they've got the screws there that just literally screw into there. So let's have a look, and we'll start from here. So this is the Pelikan steel nibs. So what I'm going to do, what I'm hoping will work, is I'm going to literally twist them out and put the other one in. We may get a little sort of time delay in between where I need to get the ink to flow back through the different nibs, because I wouldn't have pulled them out through it because I've only got the one pen, so bear with me on this. So this is the extra fine. You can see that. So I'm going to write a line with each of them. So the 5 boxing wizards, jump quickly. So there's the extra fine. It's certainly got some feedback to it, and I like that. I always like that in my nibs. So we'll go with the 5. So they just literally screw in like that. What I might do is dip it in the ink just to get it going. So the ink I'm using here is Pelikan Edelstein Topaz. I really do like this ink. So this is the Fine Nib. So the 5 boxing wizards, jump quickly. You can see already there's quite a difference between the extra fine and the fine. Certainly there will be, just screwing this one out, certainly there's going to be some allowance for the fact that it is, you know, I dipped the pen first, but that would have only have lasted a little while. So we've got the medium nib in here now. Now this is where they get really smooth. This nib is super smooth. So the 5 boxing wizards, jump quickly. And then last but no means least, just taking this one out. Just going to screw in this bold nib. Broad nib even rather than bold, sorry about that. So the 5, this is incredibly smooth. Boxing wizards, jump quickly. Wow, that is quite a difference actually. So let's see if we can get in close there, or I'll see if I'll bring it up, it might be easier. I'll have a look at those. So if we have a look at that top one, so you can really see it is, when we compare there, that extra fine to that broad nib, it is substantially different, and each one of them you can see how the jump is, that gradient between them. So the extra fine nib, I mean, that was smooth, it wrote with no issue. You obviously got the feedback and you could hear it as well, probably on camera, you can probably pick that up. But then you got to the F and you noticeably saw, you know, that it was smoother and that difference in line. And then the medium nib, that then became a very smooth nib. And then that broad was like butter across that piece of paper. Really surprised by how unbelievably smooth, and the amount of ink that sort of went down on that. So if you have a look at the difference between that and look at the shading, I suppose, in the ink, there is so much more shading with that broad nib, and the medium and the broad, you can really notice the difference of how the inks then shade, and it gets a bit more character, that ink. So if that's what you're looking for, then I'd be looking at the broad or the medium or the broad. If your handwriting is particularly small, then I'd be looking at between these two. The reason I always go for extra fine nibs or fine nibs at best is because I just prefer my handwriting with a finer nib pen. I think it looks much neater as it gets to broader nibs, because I think they're particularly smooth as well, I rush very much, and it becomes, my handwriting becomes curvier because the letters get bigger, obviously, to deal with the size of the nib, and because of that I just don't like my handwriting like it. I prefer the way that my handwriting is. I think it's neater in these top two here, but that's just me. If you've got big handwriting anyway, then these are going to be absolutely fine, and it depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for everyday making notes, then, you know, then that medium is brilliant. If you're looking to write something sort of, you know, nice, if you're looking for signatures and something, you know, to write something nice later, then, you know, I'd be looking at that broad. Also bear in mind that as I said, these were sent to me by Ross at Pure Pens. He does do nib grinding as well, so he is able to grind some of these nibs as well for you. But these are the standard. So these are the standard Pelikan steel nibs: extra fine, fine, medium, broad. Thanks for having a look. I'll leave it all up to you. Make your decision as to what suits you best. And if I can help anymore, please leave me a comment. Please subscribe to my channel and like the video. And I'll see you all again soon. Bye.